Alright, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash, the abundance unto the apostles and the elders of great millstone that surely do well. Peace and blessing unto the Akim, throughout the four corners of the soul, that continue to push the 100% truth in all sincerity. And with all diligence, this is your brother Matana once again, coming to the spirit from the GMS camp in Trinidad, or one of the great millstone camps in Trinidad. And this video here gonna be, based off of this news that just received in our group chat, where I saw a large earthquake. Because we do usually have these magnitude earthquakes around the world, but when it happened, it caused a lot of damage and it caused a lot of death. And let's go and touch on it and go through a few precepts here where it fit into play with prophecy, earthquakes and tsunamis and such and such. But the headline here was from CNN. It says a 7.4 magnitude earthquake strikes off Taiwan's eastern coast, sparking tsunami warning in Japan. It says tsunami warnings issued after strong earthquake. Basically the same thing. And I had this video here. You see Nabel and leaning there is one of the of the buildings that were affected by it. The aftermath of the earthquake in Taiwan. And then when I received the news, I went and looked it up on Google, and this is what I saw. It says magnitude 6.5 earthquake affected countries Japan, Philippines, Taiwan, and China. And it said it happened around 8:11 p.m. for us. It would be daytime across there for them. It says, we're going to this article, the same one that I saw. It says a major earthquake with a magnitude of 7.4 struck off Taiwan's eastern coast Wednesday, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, prompting tsunami warnings for the island and southern Japan. The quake's epicenter is located about 18 kilometers or 11 miles south of the city of Hualien. Tremors were felt across the island, including by CNN staff in Taipei. It says reports of preliminary damage have emerged with tilted houses, as in the video that I showed you all in the clip earlier before, in Hualien County, Taiwan's defense ministry said. And it said military personnel have been dispatched to help with disaster relief, and schools and workplaces have suspended operations as aftershocks hit the island. Let me see if I see any more videos. Let me see. It's similar video. Click on this one here. Not showing. Okay, so there's nothing really to see here in this video here. Go across. This one is a landslide caused by the earthquake. With these natural disasters, it's not like a collapse, a financial collapse, civil unrest that these experts claim that they can predict or foresee. These things are unforeseeable. These things happens whenever the Most High says, "Say, let it be done." Understand? But he said these things are gonna be done when? In the end times, in the end days. But this is Psalm 66 and verse outside of verse 3. It says, "Say unto power, how terrible art thou in thy works." Look up that word terrible. You'd still have these Christians out here that spreading the belief or the delusion that the Lord is all love, and when the Lord come back, he's all about loving and saving and delivering wicked people that just fell down on their knees for one day as soon as they saw calamity and repented. But that is not the Lord. It is the word terrible. It says, fear, revere, be afraid, to stand in awe of, be awed, reverence, honor, respect, to be fearful, be dreadful, be feared, to cause astonishment and awe, be held in awe, to inspire reverence or godly fear or awe, to make afraid, to terrify, to shoot, to pour. I go down in Strong's definition of the word. It says to fear, morally, to revere, causatively, to frighten, to affright, to be afraid. So any scripture said that the Lord Psalm 66 and verse 3 and it says, "Say unto power, how terrible art thou in thy works." That means how frightening. The works that he does, it makes afraid. It makes you fear, man. Things like these, earthquakes and tsunamis and tornadoes and volcanoes and these natural disasters that take place from time to time in various parts of the world. These things are things to make you be afraid. These things are not things that you could just walk by and you not be afraid is like the norm. No, these things are not like the norm. These things can happen at any time, and when it does happen, it kills in the hundreds, depending on where it hit. Buildings fall down. Sometimes it's it happen around temples, around churches, depending on the zone and depending on how busy that area is, that affect the amount of people that, or the number of people that gets injured by it, or if not injured, dead. So you have to fear the Most High. It says, "Through the greatness of thy power shall thy enemies submit themselves unto thee." And these Taiwanese, they would have their own idols that they set up, and they would think that there's something that they do against their idols that make them suffer this punishment, when it's actually the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. But the Lord gonna make them know it's him in due time. It says, "All the earth shall worship thee and shall sing unto thee. They shall sing to thy name. Selah. Come and see the works. Come and see the works of power. He is terrible in his doing toward the children of men." And the children of men are these other nations. I think it's in It's in Wisdom of Solomon. I think it's in Wisdom of Solomon just now. Somewhere around here. This is my Solomon 12. Yes, no. Yeah, it's Wisdom of Solomon 12 and verse. Verse 22. It says, Wherefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more. To the intent that when we judge, we should carefully think of thy goodness, and when we are judged, and when we ourselves are judged, we should look for mercy. So, we receive judgment from the Lord, but in verse 10 say, he executes judgment upon us little by little. So, we still receive mercy from the Lord, but when the heathen get judged, when the sons of men get judged, they get it 1,000 times more. Read it again. It's Wisdom of Solomon 12 and verse 22. It says, Therefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more. So they get their punishment a lot worse than us. Malachi is Malachi 1 and verse 14. It says, But cursed be the deceiver which had in his flock a male, and vow it, and sacrificed unto the Lord a corrupt thing, for I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. And the Lord gonna make his name dreadful among the heathen, and his name is not God. That term God is just a title. It's just a rank. It's not a name. The name Yahweh and Yahushua is gonna be made dreadful among the heathen again. And how is that gonna be done? By the works that He's gonna do in these last days. By the judgment that He's gonna bring upon all these nations in these last days. By the destruction that He's gonna bring upon Babylon the Great, aka America, and upon these other heathens in this third World War Armageddon that's on the horizon. That is how his name gonna be dreadful among the heathen again, just like what he did in Egypt. How his name was revered. We got a precept. Romans 9 and verse 17. It says, For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. How we show this power in Pharaoh? Think is by the glory that Pharaoh had? No, is by the destruction that he brought upon Egypt. And after he brought that destruction upon Egypt, all these other nations started to talk about the God of the Hebrews, the God of the Israelites. You understand? So it's the same judgment that He's gonna bring upon, these nations in these latter times, especially upon Esau. So his name will be dreadful among the heathen. When they hear that name Yahweh, they're gonna tremble. No, it's like they hear it and like these Israelites again with the make up God and blah 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 blah, and the continuous mocking and scoffing. But when that time reach, and the Lord does bring His destruction, the name gonna be revered, the name gonna be feared, the name gonna be. They won't even want to hear that name around them. When these heathens are in captivity, they wouldn't even want to hear that name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai in their presence, because they're gonna start to tremble. The things that the Lord is about to bring upon this world. And when they know that it's Yahweh and Yahweh Shai and not the idols, not Krishna, not Shiva, not Jesus, not Jehovah, none of any of these idols that they worship, they're gonna fear. Let me read this last precept here. Is Matthew 24:7. It says, start of verse let's read verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise up against nation, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So the end, when you see these things, the Lord ain't gonna come yet, but they are just the beginning of sorrows. The end of sorrows is when the Lord come. When the Lord come, everything gonna be set back in its rightful order. Esau at the absolute bottom, and Jacob on top, and all these other heathen nations, they're gonna be in captivity. They're gonna be in subjection to the Israelites. But until that time, things like these gonna be taking place, and it's gonna happen at a more frequent rate until the Lord comes. As scripture say, as it come closer to the delivery, when a woman in pain, when a woman is pregnant and it come closer to delivery, the birth pangs increase. So all these things, earthquakes, wars, famines, pestilences, is gonna increase and increase and increase until the Lord comes. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash, the double unto the apostles and the elders, a great men, so that show the do well. Peace and blessings, and until next time, I say Shalom.